Alrighty, welcome back, my ladies and gents, to Danganronpa. So we are heading into our investigation time. Yay! Investigation time!
Sakura-chan が死んじゃったの?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look at Sakura's dead body. Kyoko looks weird in the picture. Didn't make it in time. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered what she was. Was she confirming that Sakura was really dead? Checking for a pulse? A reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And I... Why? Why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there, unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Ogre! Oh, so she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began. You had the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say? No. Whoever killed her. It's not just someone in this room. It was one of you! Hiro, Byaka, Toka, one of you killed Sakura! What? You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation. I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. What if you did it? I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase that much just by getting mad. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. Boo 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 boo! That's right. It's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that little face of yours. Now then, with that, hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura? Uh-huh. Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and then I killed her? No, not quite. Actually, not even close. The whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to the most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish him with me. Which, thank God for that, it saved me the trouble of having to go through our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, and I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one. You owe them one? Oopsie. Before you get all pissy-patty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? Boo 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 boo. What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I for one am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura. Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let us decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Yuna? I'm okay. Just let me do it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Fine, then Hina's guard number one, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you. Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
Eva.
Fine, I'll stay behind. And it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say. Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What? What if you killed Sakura? I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her. Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it ever means I have to use force, you're not getting it here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyways. It's true, he's not wrong. No, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro? Do you really object?
What?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? Then it's decided. Nothing's decided. I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But... we have to find out who killed Sakura. So, for those of us still alive and honor Sakura's memory. Fine. I guess it's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you are absolutely not allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body? That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer, all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of a hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Do it. I better check out the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Ogami Sakura. The time of death is estimated to be around noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Nice!
ね
I think this case, it might be a challenge. Why is that?
え、それは
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room. It's a locked mystery. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
つまり
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see that thing in kind of mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
ね
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? No. Sure, if you don't mind. I'm a mystery nut. When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. That simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. There are some crazy ones in Detective Conan. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
そう
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Huh?
つまり
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside the target to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun, you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
だけど
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we could probably cross that one off the list.
そうね
Then the third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
つまり
They stay hidden, and when the doors open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up all along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
そうね
And the fourth and final type is when it actually wasn't a locked room at all. Not a locked room?
つまり
By that I mean there actually is an alternative escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
ええ
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. But Kyoko, which of the 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
そうね
That is a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up to the locked room. Until I figured that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Yeah, I was gonna say, so in Detective Conan, the one that there's like tons of locked room mysteries and they're all like ridiculous. Like one, the key was still in the guy's pocket, and so there was like a string going from like the door to his pocket, and so he like locked the door and then like reverse stringed it so that the key would end up in the guy's pocket. It's like ridiculous things like that. Detective Conan has some very, very intricate things that I always wonder if would actually work. This looks like some kind of wrapper. Oh, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
それは
Well, yeah. I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little bit. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really liked them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
だって
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance. That's why I tried gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. No. Oh. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? Put that one together nicely, didn't you, Makoto? Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Nice! There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how long they get these figures inside the bottles, or how they get the figures inside the bottles.
それは
It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle. Huh? You know, when the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Maybe I have?
つまり
So this is the Monokuma version of that. Monokuma bottle, if you will. Nice! I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle's sitting on the shelf. Figure we found on the ground. Oh, I might have to make some coffee. The red shards of glass was probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? So it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in the chair. Looks weird at that angle. There's obvious evidence of the There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Sorry, my blah. Normally, I wouldn't have any problems believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Nice! Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya! However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting? Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. So desu yo ne. There's a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make any sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Nice! That same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. Huh? The locker's opened and on the inside. It's a handprint?
なぜ
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in the dust.
そうね
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding in here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid it here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
違うわ
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
ね
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, the locker was already opened at that point.
え え
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. So then, what does this handprint mean? Nice! Is there a reason I can't see the, oh, maybe I have to talk to somebody. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
それは
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
違うわ
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can... It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab has all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab. Hey,
ちょっ
Chris!
と
But that's strange. What is?
ね
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must have been parts of the window I broke to get inside.
そう
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
それは
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. Empty pump. Nice! Oh, I forgot my nice. Okay, now let's talk to some people.
なんだ
What do you want? You're bothering. Go away. Why? Why are you so cold? Ah. I'd better go before he crushes my soul completely. Ah, yes.
でも
But for Sakura to have been killed... Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
そうね
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
確かに
Certainly that would have been needed if they expected to stand any chance. We already know who did it. You say that in every trial. Byaku, Toko, or Hiro. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? No. Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her before it's even this. Ina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Nice. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her and asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
Nanda.
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? Not wrong. So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Yakuya says he didn't go to see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Oi.
If you're finished, please remove yourself from my sight, you pestilent little bug. Okay, thanks. Looked at that net. Why can I still not look at the... Maybe I did some other form of thing. Okay. Alright, where do we need to go? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. It doesn't have a lock and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. What am I missing? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence. Oh, I see. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not the outside. Nice! Chair does not look tall enough to block that.
ね
Well, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
じゃあ
Then, you should probably go talk with the people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
いいわね
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. Everyone just orders Makoto around. She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to go see what they had to say. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. Okay. Here's Toko. Bing-bong! And after a few seconds...
Nani? Dare?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Nani?
What do you want?
深川さん戻ってたんだね。ジェノサイダーじゃなくて。
あいつの話しないでよ気分が悪くなるじゃないせっかく楽しい気分なのに
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
あのさ、ちょっと話があるんだけど、今いいかな。
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
なんの用よ
Well, what do you want? You said something you wanted to talk to me or something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Byaka already told me she asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? And I just said 2, didn't I? I guess it's now totally obvious, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note. But I didn't go to see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but... Can I really believe her? No. Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Nice! I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong, ding bong, bong bong, bong bong bong. And after a few seconds,
Dabe.
what's up, Makoto? Do you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura went to meet with you. How do you know about that? Oh, or maybe did you gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened within you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Hoga told me herself that she asked Byaka and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? When she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person and she happened to be mentioned the others in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So when you went and met with Sakura, No way. I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Psh. That definitely is suspicious. The last time I saw Ogre was when he got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Oh, let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets. Sorry, it looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Ah! Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket. Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Yeah. Trash. But anyway, I can't deny Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. My face looks really red right now because of the screen. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Nice! It's like I got a sunburn. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What's next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find more about the protein can. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Doko ni hajimemashou ka? I like how it labels it on here for you. It's a little Bikuri mark.
Nanda.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just admit it, you love me. Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was yes, sir, I understand. This isn't my first time seeing this shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. Beep, beep, beep. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where the powder came from? Broken bottle. It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? No. Maybe. I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like it. This. Then the powder must have been spilled. That's right. It only could have been around the time of the incident. If that's really when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Nice! Nurse's powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. Hashimoto. These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the screen as a whole? We may need to sketch out a floor plan. By we, you mean me. How kind of you to offer. Oh, what a lad. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of pen and paper.
なんだ
Well, let's go chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. Bottle. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me.
なるほど
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. Wow, you are a genius.
なるほどな
These footprints must be...
ありえるな
Makoto, are they yours? No.
なんだ
Okay then, let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see, your feet do appear to be a bit too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are really valuable. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. Bottle? It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. It also looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Nice! Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? Well, wait a second. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must be truly bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
なんだ
What? You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
まあいい
The
だろ
words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyways, it doesn't matter right now. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about the shelf. On this shelf is... One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections, each Nissan. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, And Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A there was a bottle labeled with a label from Section C. What was the bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. Nice! I think that's everything in the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the room. I love how I said that. I wasn't reading it. I was just saying that. Bye, Byakuya, who really loves me. You just gotta admit it to yourself. Admit it. Admit it. Oh, look, my face is all red again. Wait, the rec room is down a floor, actually.
Ne.
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
なるほどね。
I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
とにかく
Well, I've made some progress on my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. Bottle? These three things have revealed no clues. You do well to look them over one more time. This bottle or this bottle? Maybe this bottle. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Bottle. Bottle? Oh, I love that word. Something new, something new.
Ne.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. There's two missing. A correlation? Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
それは
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Why? Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Nice!
Ne.
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
とにかく
Can you gather up all the pieces, the broken bottles? Try to get the smaller pieces as well. Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
別にいいじゃ
I've
ん。
already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so...
じゃあ
Anyways, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but... What choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished... Sorry to keep you waiting.
じゃあ
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
つまり
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense once we're done. First, let's compare the weight of the two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced. Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight. Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here or there. Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible? Just as I thought. What? The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles put it together. And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So what do you think? It's all on you. Nice! Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back in that way on accident? If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said Toko. Could this be a dying message? Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this? It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. Dying message. But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Is that? That is Toko, right? Yeah, looks like it. And she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer, right? I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Nice. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body. Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but... Don't you think you might actually need to examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there's still sometimes... I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I just can't get used to it. That's totally normal. Then how can you?
それは
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
ね
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
そう
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
なるほどね
That powder is clue number 1. Nice!
ね
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
そうね
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
どうやら
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
ええ
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
そう
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
そうね
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can hear your purr in the microphone. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body.
What? 寝てた。お前らの操作が退屈すぎて寝ちゃってたよ。やっちゃうよ。いいっすか？やっちゃってもいいっすか？じゃあ、学級裁判を始めます。お前らはいつもの場所に至急集合してください。学校エリア1階にある赤い扉にお入りください。うぷぷ。じゃあ、後でね。
It's already time? But the mystery of this locked room is only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Alright, so we just finished our investigation time, and next time we will be heading on to the class trial. So, thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you later. Boo 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 boo.